Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday morning, and yesterday wasn't very much fun. The Rolling View Campground was my original destination for today. It's just over 21 miles away, and I don't think I got that in me for the day. However, there is another campsite about 10 miles away, and I think I'm going to make that my destination. One of the things as I was laying in bed last night was I asked myself, why am I doing this? Why am I out here away from my friends, away from my family? There's a few reasons. One of the big reasons is that I'm really trying to make some content for this YouTube channel. I got a passion for camping and for videography and combining those two, and so that's a big reason. And the second reason is I would like to, at some point in my life, hike the entire Mountains to Sea Trail. So those are my reasons. And so with those reasons in mind, I asked myself, do I really need to do the entire segment 10 in this trip? And the answer is no. The trail's not going anywhere, and I would much rather slow down, take my time, and because yesterday I was so concerned with getting from A to B, getting from the start point to make it to here, and in doing that, I pushed myself, and I probably skipped out on some really good filming opportunities, just because when my body started to tell me that it was tired and my feet were telling me they were done, my mood diminished quickly, and so I missed out on some opportunities to film and to share the experience with y'all. And so that was one of the reasons that I came out here. So yeah, we're gonna take it slow today. I had originally set my alarm to get started to be on the trail at sunrise, which is at 7 roughly. It's 7:20 now, so I'm definitely not making the sunrise start time, but that's okay. There's a quote from one of my favorite canoeing videos. It's a group of 4 guys. They canoe, I want to say it's 1,000 kilometers. It's called 9 Rivers. Long story short, great video, but one of the guys in that video talks about getting to their destination, and it was a roughly 30-day trip, and he said I think it was Fort Severn was their destination, and said, so on this trip we're going to Fort Severn, but we didn't come on this trip to go to Fort Severn. And I really liked that quote, because that speaks to the reason that we get out here, and the reason that it's just the reason that we do this. That's the way I kind of feel about this Mountains to Sea trip, is that, my destination ultimately was Falls Lake Dam, but I didn't come on this trip to go to Falls Lake Dam. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish up breakfast and maybe have another cup of coffee, filter the last of the water I collected out of the creek last night, and pack up and head out and see where the day takes us. I'll see you there. This is called the Ward Family Campground, so many thanks to the Ward family. This is an excellent place to spend the night. And now we are off to some great adventures. My feet are actually a lot better than I thought they were going to be today, so we'll see. I still think I'm going to stick to the plan B, which was the roughly 10 miles today, 10 miles tomorrow, and finish at Rolling View, and then just do the rest of the trip another time. It's actually a lot easier to plan a 2-night trip than opposed to a 4-night trip. It fits into life a little easier. Excited to see what there is to see. We've had to look forward to this river. This little creek here is actually the trail, and so it's kind of sloshing through it, but it's a beautiful day, so I'm not going to complain too much. So I'm already feeling the advantages of doing fewer miles. Just took a nice little break, had some Sour Patch Kids, and just chilling out, enjoying being out in the woods. That is such a drastic change from yesterday. Yeah, so I think we'll throw the pack back on and get a couple more miles in, and maybe stop for lunch in an hour or so. We'll see you there.
Tell you what, folks,
Eagles to the rescue. That's a good looking boardwalk. Nick Spicer, Troop 347, June 2012. Shout out, fellow Eagles. Keeping the trail going, that's pretty awesome. And it looks like, see, 2012, so 6.5 years old. It's looking pretty good for 6.5 years old. Nice job, Nick. Welcome to lunch, day 2. Not a bad view. I'm gonna enjoy this moment because about perfect weather, gorgeous view of the lake. Not bad, not bad at all. You know, the interesting thing about this segment of the Mountains to Sea Trail is that even though as a crow flies, it's not that long, but because of the lake, and the trail follows all the fingers of the lake, there's a lot of miles. So there's a fair amount of zigzagging. And speaking of zigzagging, I think I have walked under this set of power lines. Lord Almighty, I don't even know. But I'm done with power lines. I think there's another set of railroad tracks that I got to walk across today, and I'm kind of interested about this part. I'm walking under Interstate 85. I hope it's under, and I don't have to play Frogger. But yeah, the trail crosses I-85, and that's going to be my next significant landmark. But another beautiful day. Passed a lot of railroad tracks today, but I think this might be the first set of active tracks. So Norfolk Southern. Lovely, lovely crossing. One of the interesting things that my buddy Matt from work informed me of, he's a very, very smart guy, very well-read, but told me that all the railroads in the U.S. are actually private property. And so that makes the railroads in the U.S. the largest landowner. I thought that was kind of interesting. Beautiful day. Love it. Well, par for the course. Mud and wet. So here at I-85, there's everybody bustling and hustling behind me. But there's the tunnel. And like I said, plenty of water, plenty of mud. I don't know why I expected anything different. Oh well. See you on the other side. Waterproof boots are the name of the game on this trip. A little spooky, but much better than playing Frogger on the top of the tunnel. I think that's our trail. There's a little white trail marker. Good times. Another Eagle Scout representing. Danny from Troop 100. It's good stuff. I'll take it, Danny. Any little bit. So when I was scouting out the trail and everything, pulling up satellite imagery, one thing that concerned me greatly was this little stretch of road walk, because apparently the hurricane or storm or whatever a while back blew out the land bridge, and so when I pulled the imagery up, there was a big fat gap in the land bridge where you couldn't get across. Cars, people, nothing. It was huge. They washed it out completely, but luckily they fixed it, so I'm not going to have to make a huge detour or anything. And then apparently there's a mailbox here. I don't know what that's for, but we're nearing the end of today's hike. People are definitely not slowing down for pedestrians. It is amazing the difference you feel walking on pavement versus walking on the ground. You don't really realize how much the ground gives when you walk on it until you walk on something that doesn't give it all. Almost there though. It'll feel good to get the boots off and check out this campsite. So, we'll see you there. Made it. This is a nice little spot. Let's see what we got. Oh, picnic tables. Sweet. 2 picnic tables. That's freaking awesome. Gives me a place to have a gear explosion. So, got some camp rules here. It is a significant privilege apparently to be camping here. So, I agree, because you don't really see many non-paid campsites around here. So the fact that this one's just kind of tucked back in here, you don't make reservations. I mean, it's first come, first serve, obviously, but yeah. Shout out to the Mountains to Sea folks. Really taking care of hikers and pretty cool. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. So it's supper time. Coffee maker and cook set. I have a Toke 750 without the carry handle. It's got the cup handle, and then a Toke 450. I believe that's what this one is. Yep, 450. This obviously nests inside there. MSR Pocket Rocket 2. The only downside is that can't fit a fuel canister in there, but that's a good trade-off because what I'll do is boil water and potentially eat out of this, and then when I'm making coffee or any kind of other drink, I can have a separate cup, and they're both pretty light. Tokes is a great company. Darwin from Darwin on the Trail is the one that introduced me to Tokes, and they're definitely a cost-efficient option for those that are trying to find something that's not so as expensive, like a Snow Peak or something like that. So, I set up everything for this video, and then I realized that I left my water over there. So here shortly, grab the water. Oh, so let's grab the food. Let's see what we're gonna have for dinner. I think I still got a chicken gumbo left. I think there's a beef stroganoff. I think what else I got in here for dinner. Like I said, as Dixie says, you pack your fears. So I'm afraid of starving. Apparently, I'm petrified of starving. So I always bring too much food, and you can call that a newbie mistake. Maybe one day I'll get over it, but not yet. Not yet. So chicken gumbo. This gravy sounds pretty good. Beef stroganoff and chicken gumbo. Oh, three cheese chicken pasta. I think I'm gonna go with the chicken gumbo just because I've been thinking about it. Chicken gumbo by Alpine Air. Last time I had this was out in Utah, Joe and Gavin. So let's get this fired up. Is this two cups? 2.5 cups. I'll do 2 cups just to. Normally I will try to make real food on trips. I had a bunch of these freeze-dried dinners left over from another trip that we didn't get to use them on. So why not? Because I kind of enjoy cooking outdoors. It's not always the lightest option, but hopefully some of these trips we take where we're not doing mileage, we can bring some legit food. All right, let that boil. Pack it. I'm told that you can cook those and it's not going to kill you. I guess that's good. But I always try to take them out beforehand. So here we are. We just kind of wait. All right. So I didn't actually take that long to boil. I realized as I was sitting down to try to eat, one, I hadn't hung my bear bag, so that's done. I wanted to do that before the sun went down. And once I finished that, I looked out onto the lake and I was like, my God, this would be a perfect time to get some drone shots. So that's what I did. So I turned the stove off and went and did other things. Now it's time for some chicken gumbo. That is steaming. It's a little bigger here. Alright, and stir. I gotta say, I grew up with Mountain House. When you need a freeze-dried meal, Mountain House is what you got. But I know there are other companies out there. Backpacker's Pantry is one that comes to mind, and then some other ones that I just can't think of right now that I've seen other YouTubers eating that look really good. So I will probably branch out. But Alpine Air has been a very pleasant surprise. They're pretty easy to get. REI sells them. So when I need one in a hurry, I can just run down to REI and grab it, and it's ready to go. How long is this supposed to? It's probably the same, 10 to 12 minutes. So, all right, 10 to 12 minutes. We'll see you then. All right, chow time. Let's see if it has turned into chicken gumbo. It looks like chicken gumbo. Oh yeah, that's gonna stick to the bone. Bon appetit. That's tasty. Just winding down the evening, gonna have a cup of hot chocolate with a mountain of marshmallows on the top. But yeah, it's interesting how sound carries. So when I was hiking today, and I was on the other side of I-85, and I knew it was coming, but I was like, surely I'll be able to hear the interstate. And so I didn't actually hear the interstate because of all the trees and the way it was, I guess the way it was angled. But I didn't hear it till probably good, maybe a half a mile at the most, probably closer to a quarter mile. But now I'm on the opposite side. I'm probably a solid, even as the crow flies, probably a solid mile. And still hear that nice steady hum. It's been a good trip. I think tomorrow will be my last day on the trail for now. Obviously, we'll come back and finish the rest of segment 10. I think I enjoy it more when I can stop and smell the roses instead of hoofing it. So today I did probably like 12 or 13 miles. I honestly didn't look at the GPS before I finished it, but or turned it off. But looking forward to the hammock tonight. For those of you that have not tried hammock camping, you just try it once. If you know somebody that has a hammock and they're willing to let you borrow it, try it. I did a bunch of research and watched a bunch of YouTube videos on people that have hammocks, and finding just the right spot and so you can lay flat. I have had really good luck with this REI hammock. It's a REI quarter dome, air quarter dome. I can't remember the name. It's not the lightest by any means. It's like 3 pounds, which by hammock standards is like lead. But it's a bridge hammock, so it has the 2 spacer bars on either end, and so it's like sleeping in a big cloth or nylon bathtub. You don't have to worry about laying diagonally or whatever to lay flat. You're always going to lay flat. REI makes a underquilt for it, and I just haven't brought myself to throwing out the chunk of change. It's just easier for me to have an air mattress, because I'm gonna have an air mattress whether I sleep in a tent or a hammock. So one piece of gear that does 2 jobs. Yeah, I'm all about that. Plus, depending on the quilt, it could be kind of bulky. And I've got the Thermarest Neo Air X Therm. Not the lightest they make, but I guess it's considered a 4-season, which is important to me because I like to have that insulation. I'm not planning on going camping in Alaska or anything crazy like that, but I like to be warm. Like right now, it's probably in the 40s, and it may get a little colder tonight. But even though it's that cold, I'm sleeping in a 0-degree bag, and I would rather have to unzip it and cool off than be cold. I can't stand being cold. So yeah. But anyways, back to my original statement. If you're looking for maybe not an ultralight hammock, but a hammock to camp in, check out the REI one. Bridge hammocks are good stuff. I've done this YouTube channel was kind of evolution of events for me. I kind of stumbled into outdoor videography. My wife and I went on a camping trip in April of 2017, and I just had been watching a bunch of Darwin and Joe Robinette, and I don't think I had stumbled across Dixie yet. I know she was out there, but I had just started watching David Gray. He's another great one. But kept watching their videos, and I was like, man, that'd be fun, just to have something to look back on. And so I originally just started doing it just to have kind of a chronicle of camping trips and stuff like that, and really enjoyed doing it and editing and then having that video at the end. And so the more and more videos I did, the more trips we went on, I was like, you know what, I have most of the a lot of the gear that I have right now is because I'm a YouTube geek and got recommendations. My Tokes mugs, this jacket, which is just something from Marshall's, but somebody had suggested it, and so I got that. So I felt like a YouTube channel. I'm by no means an expert. I don't know if there are experts in the outdoor world. I mean, there are some that are better than others, but everybody's got their own way of doing things. Everybody's got their own preferences, and so all this YouTube channel is to show you what my preferences are, show you what I do, and then maybe you get a couple of nuggets of, hey, that's a good idea, or hey, why is he doing that? That's stupid. But yeah, it's a way for me. It's feels silly to say like it's my way of giving back, but it's if you're like me, then you watch these YouTube videos to, one, get excited about going outside and spending time outdoors, because when you can't be outside, the next best thing is to watch these videos. Either watch the ones that you make or watch somebody else's, because it gets you excited. It gets me excited. I enjoy it. And so but the other reason is, like I said, I got a lot of, when I'm looking at gear, when I'm looking at, I look at YouTube, and I look at what the people that do this more than I do. I look at what they use. I'm not, clearly you've seen my pack. I'm not an ultralight guy. I may never be a truly ultralight guy. I mean, I've got a couple of pieces of gear here and there that are, considered ultralight. But yeah, I'm just, the main thing is to get out there and enjoy yourself, whether you got a pack that weighs 20 pounds or 40 pounds or 60 pounds, get out there and enjoy it. And so I hope my YouTube channel can help at least one person to get inspired to get outdoors and maybe get some gear reviews and that kind of thing. That's going to come with time. The gear reviews aren't as exciting. My plan is to make this trip the inaugural video, and then I've got a whole bunch of other trip videos that I'll probably have to edit a little bit, just to make them a little more succinct, and then I'll put them on the channel as well. And so even though the trips were before the YouTube channel, I'll still have them up there. So there's a lot of content, and I'd like to get it up so that y'all can see it and kind of see some of the things that we've done. You can kind of see the evolution of my videography skills. But yeah, so we'll see. I've been talking for a while now, so I think I'm probably just gonna turn the camera off and finish my hot chocolate. I'll see y'all in the morning.